Ink Ribbon.
There were a handful of horror games released for the SNES generation of consoles, but it was the PS1 that pioneered survival horror games for generations to come. Today on Ink Ribbon, we are covering the top 10 horror games for the original PlayStation. Let's get to it.
Number 10.
Ecco Night. Ecco Night is played from a first-person perspective, but unlike most first-person games, there is no use of firearms. When confronted by a ghost, the player must turn on the lights in the room by means of a light switch. The player is often transported into the past via passengers or certain objects. Less of a horror game, but more of a creepy feel, it's still a solid game for any horror fan to check out.
Number 9.
Doom. Doom is classified as a first-person shooter, but it definitely falls under the category of horror. With its atmosphere, music, sound design, and terrifying creatures, Doom was one of the launch games that scared quite a few kids when the PlayStation had been released, and continued its legacy as one of the best and scary shooters of all time.
Number 8.
Evil Dead: Hail to the King. Evil Dead: Hail to the King functions much like a Resident Evil game, containing similar features such as pre-rendered backgrounds and semi-fixed camera angles, as well as limited ammunition and fuel for the chainsaw. If you like games in this style, this should be a no-brainer.
Number 7.
Fear Effect. As the name implies, Fear Effect is a mix of fixed camera style horror combined with puzzles and QuickTime events. This game delivers an extremely creepy vibe and has a lot of unsettling moments. If Resident Evil, Ghost in the Shell, and The Matrix had an orgy, Fear Effect is the baby that would result.
Number 6.
Clock Tower. A point-and-click reboot of the original SNES game, Clock Tower perfects the art of simplicity as far as scares are concerned. No weapons, no healing, not even direct control of your character. This game forces you instead to make quick decisions to run, hide, or defend against the series' iconic Scissor Man.
Number 5.
Alone in the Dark: New Nightmare. All game series have an original, and as far as survival horror goes, this is it, but with a facelift. The original Alone in the Dark is a bit of an eyesore, but this new version gives us the game we wanted, with its creepy atmosphere, impressive graphics, for the time, and solid gameplay.
Number 4.
Parasite Eve. Square's entry into the survival horror genre was impressive. The graphics were awesome, the gameplay was good, and the story was solid, although I don't think any other game I've played has so much sperm mentioned. Anyway, it's a must for any survival horror fan.
Number 3.
Dino Crisis. In the height of Jurassic Park in video games, we got the awesome game known as Dino Crisis. Take the Resident Evil formula and replace the zombies with dinosaurs, and you've got this. Regarded by many as one of the best horror games, Dino Crisis will live on as we pretend that the third game never happened.
Number 2.
Resident Evil 2. And here we are. After mentioning it throughout this list, we simply cannot leave out a Resident Evil game. Although the PS1 saw Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, I have to give it to Resident Evil 2. This game had some of the best jump scares, best puzzles, best graphics, and some of the most iconic enemies in a game series to date. If you've never played Resident Evil 2, you are definitely missing out.
Number 1.
Silent Hill. Creepy or scary is an understatement. Silent Hill delivers one of the most terrifying experiences in gaming history, going into uncharted territory. The designers at Konami actually researched psychology and how the brain works and responds to fear. They used everything from sound design and textures to literally cause your brain to trigger a fear response. And I can tell you firsthand that it is extremely effective, which is why it's at the number 1 spot. Is there a game on this list that should have been mentioned? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Ink Ribbon, and be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.